Hello, guys. Welcome to Tyrex Lounge. This is your host, Mr. Tyrex here, and I got some guests today.
Your fellow dragon is here, dragon lover to be exact. Yep, I'm back.
And the one true Star Wars fan here, well, casual for that matter, but it is Cool Cole 64.
And I'm
Yes.
Grant Harper, aka the Emotional Guy. I'm a filmmaker and a musician, and I'm a casual Star Wars fan. Used to love sequels, but not anymore after realizing their social justice bullshit. Just give me the prequels and originals any day. Please.
Right. Same here.
Yep.
Yep, same here. The Lucas 6. Nothing can beat that.
Mhm.
And,
Exactly.
and today we're going back to. After 2 weeks, we're on to another Cosmo Kunk video. This time on the Disney Star Wars films, which should be
Here we
interesting.
go.
Yep.
And God have mercy on our souls.
And
The
speaking
last.
of which, Anomaly's already streaming on the Spider-Man Sam Raimi films.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's also Cosmonaut related too. So essentially, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yes.
sucks.
So the last Cosmonaut video we did was the prequel hate video, and we know
Yes.
how much of a dumpster fire that turned out to be.
Mhm.
Full of
boy.
shitty criticism, contradictions,
Arguments.
red letter media dick sucking, and
Yep.
total egotism that would drive anyone off a fucking cliff.
And Boogaloo's
Yep.
toy boyism.
And a
Yeah,
logic
what the heck?
and the logic that don't make any sense whatsoever. That his precious Disney garbage should be regarded as Star Wars rather than the original creator.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Reptile, go ahead. Oh, hey, DC fan 200.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
hello there.
Hello.
Hello, DC fan. We're doing another Cosmonaut video.
Yeah, we just started.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I know this is gonna sound very cringy, but also very blue. But I'll say Cosmonaut, more like Cosmonauts.
Oh, yes.
Pretty
Wait a
good.
minute. Cosmonaut? Wait a minute. Nazina? Cosmonaut Variety Hour? Nazina Variety Hour.
Nazu
Okay,
Cunt
we're getting
Variety Hour. But
That's what I
anyway,
need. That's what I need to say.
let's start the video.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yeah, let's get this motherfucker going.
The
Yeah,
Disney
let's
movies.
get this
Electric
started
Sex
in
Movie.
here.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Oh, that's
Yes.
hot.
The Disney Star Wars movies have become probably the strangest movie anomalies of the decade. That's really the only way I can describe them. They are just strange. Let's just look at this step by
And not in
step.
a good way.
Yes, now.
Disney buys Star Wars.
And fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, fuck you.
Mhm.
She still has an expired. She has an extended term in Lucasfilm. That pisses me off so
Disney
much. This
Star
woman
Wars
has.
is shit.
Doesn't know what the heck
Uh.
she. Keep in mind, guys. It's the same person who's not only horrible at taking notes, but is also a producer in many of Spielberg's produced or directed films. And all this time, she's waiting until she got her hands on George Lucas's IP.
Yeah.
And decided to
Okay.
inject her own feminism over it.
Yes, and the worst part about this whole tragedy is that George was friends with her for at least 40 years, and he trusts.
Oh.
Yeah, and he trusts her with his work, and she just fucking stabs him in the back. Like,
Mhm.
it's horrible. It's literally like she just turned to the dark side when he gave it
Literally.
over to
And
her.
so did Bob Iger.
Well, by God, the cock Iger's a scumbag anyway, but still,
Hey.
we're gonna get to more of that stuff.
Hey, don't call him Cock Iger. Call him Big Bob because arachnophobia. This year marks his 30th anniversary of that film, directed by Kathleen Kennedy's husband, Frank Marshall.
Oh.
Who produced the Jurassic World films?
I
Ironic.
don't mind those movies, okay? I don't really mind those movies.
No,
Yeah,
I never have.
Bob Iger's an asshole.
Bob Iger's a spider.
But yeah,
he threw out George Lucas story treatment in the trash can.
Well, we're already getting ahead of ourselves, so let's just continue.
Yeah, let's just
They
keep
decide
going.
to make new movies. However, they don't actually plan out a storyline for.
That is the biggest problem right there.
They threw away the treatment. JJ and Bob threw away the treatments.
I'll say this clearly.
Let's make it
if you're little,
regular media.
if you basically don't have an idea, where do you get your sources from, huh?
Yeah,
Are you gonna make a movie, or
They essentially scrapped the EU extended universe material in favor of making a trilogy, and then they complain that they don't have any source material to work with.
Plus, they cancel. Star Wars Clone because it's too. Because it's too violent or something? Or okay, not only because the Disney Lucasfilm purchase, but I also heard that the reason another reason why that TCW got canceled because this is like too violent, so they made Rebels. As a result, I think
I don't think that's entirely the thing. It was just that there was like a settlement with them and Cartoon Network, and they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I wish they could have at least.
And the biggest flaw of them all, shutting down LucasArts.
Yeah, that's tragic.
To the worst company in history. Oh well, used to be a good company, a publisher, now turned the worst publisher in modern times. Electronic Arts, simply known as EA.
No, good grief! It's like it's too much poetry there. There's like, EA is just the Disney of video games.
Seriously, I've seen some more confident fans who make this stuff a little better.
Well, the fans, that's because they're passionate about the work.
Yeah, if you basically have the people who know what they're doing and they're passionate about it, then it'll be fine. The stuff could be avoided, but that's not what we got.
Nope.
Too bad.
No story plans whatsoever. Just do whatever the fuck you want.
Too bad the retarded mainstream media and butthurt OT fanatics just because complain about where's the original unaltered original trilogy? Why is the prequels are so garbage? And look what happened.
Well, this is something I will say about that argument of George not releasing the original cuts. Like, I kind of do wish that he did with the 2011 Blu-ray releases, just so that he could please those people who only watched the original trilogy. And, like, really, like, even though, yes, he wants you to watch it as a saga, like, if he just released those in HD form, like, with the Harmy's despecialized editions, then I'm sure that he would have gained a better following and not been chastised so much. But really, I'm just hoping for too much now.
After all, I was trying to prove because the unaltered versions are just old and washed out and badly dated.
No, I agree. Actually, I still think that the special editions are the official better editions, just because, well, you watch them with the prequels as a saga, and it makes things make more sense. It's just that people always feel the need to say that you should watch it in release order instead of episodic. Like, that's not the way that I saw it.
No, not the way I see it.
At the beginning of the title crawl in each film, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, episode 6. It's numbered like that because it's telling a story.
A coherent
Makes more sense that way.
And yes, Disney could have at least filled in the blanks more often instead of continuing it just yet. Or, I mean, they could have actually just taken George's goddamn outlines, but still, they just have no excuse for doing this shit. They have no excuse for not planning things out and making things feel cohesive, because guess what? If they had planned out a cohesive trilogy, guess what? They probably could have made just as much money, if not more, with it.
I know.
I'd say yeah, but still, it's the incompetence of Kathleen Kennedy. All right,
and Bob Iger.
Yeah.
all right, let's go.
For these movies, they also decide to make spin-off films, which do pretty well up until they don't, and then they decide not to make them anymore. And then at the end of the day, the movies either get a lukewarm reception or a negative one. Now, I have a confession for you guys. I didn't actually go to the future to see Rise of Skywalker. So I started this script with a totally different mindset. I fully believed that Rise of Skywalker would not change my opinions on the Disney Star Wars movies, but I was very, very, very wrong. I really thought
I'm sorry, I just had to turn the quality up.
I thought this would be an inoffensive and safe movie, and while it is mostly that,
inoffensive
it's also
and
the
safe movie.
Yeah, you could not be any more. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
Yeah, more like safe and offensive.
most aggressive and reactionary Star Wars movie that I've ever seen. This movie just feels frustrated at something. But before we talk about that movie, we have to talk about the other Disney Star Warses, and there are a lot. And I've already made videos on some of these before, so we're going to be doing some lightning rounds, baby. Oh, and if you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker, I'm going to be spoiling it throughout the whole video, so there's your warning.
Nobody cares.
Star Wars The Force Awakens is pretty good.
Oh my god.
Cosmonaut, stop putting Star Wars movies. Stop putting Star Wars music, Stop putting Star Wars music as a trap when someone reacts to your video and get a strike or a claim by Warner Chappell. Warner fucking Chappell.
I mean, you can use old video game remixes. There's nothing wrong with that. But
yeah,
just don't use actual John Williams music.
Yeah, man. Like, it's seriously like something as to how this guy hasn't been cucked yet. But in all seriousness, like using video game music is the safer and better choice anyway. Yeah. I mean, this guy uses Hydro City a lot,
and they use Lego Star Wars theme for the Game Boy Advance.
Or heck, just use
that's actually nostalgic now too.
Just use Pokemon music Gen 3 onwards underneath, because some tracks in each generation is a bit orchestral. So
exactly.
Why?
I mean, one of the examples is frickin' Gen 4.
I would just say, like, yeah, stick to video games and stuff. Only use movie music occasionally,
or music that's yet to be added to the music policy list. Sadly, the music policy list has been purged by YouTube. So
yeah, just like the Jedi in Order 66.
So the only way to know whether or not it's safe to use actual film music is by looking in the description. You should say music in this video, in each video you watch. If it doesn't have it or has yet to be added by the bots, then you're pretty much good to go. Just be careful. It's best to just sample it. Just sample like a few seconds maybe. So just in case, if that music that's yet to be added by the bots has been added by the bots in the future.
Yeah, anyway, I still feel that way. I've gone on kind of an emotional journey with this movie because I started off really loving it, and then I was kind of over it, but now I like it again. I do think I like this movie more now.
What are you even saying? It doesn't make sense. You praise your Disney garbage, then you don't. You praise your Disney garbage, then you don't.
Make up your mind!
Yeah, like, honestly, after the other two movies in this trilogy that came out, how could anyone say that this movie's still good? Like, it's basically just, it's a whole bunch of just unanswered questions that never got answered.
And this is also This is also a formulaic film too.
Oh! By the way, you know what's also formulated?
What?
Maybe Cosmonaut.
DW.
Yes, I knew you were gonna say that.
Yes.
Yep, I know. Easy joke. I had to.
Well,
maybe Cosmonaut is a confirmed schizophrenic.
He might be a big fan of the IDW Sonic comics if he ever does those videos.
Maybe he is.
Does he do Sonic videos?
Yeah.
He has Sonic in on his like cover art.
Oh, speaking of a beautiful mind, stay tuned for a solo Star Wars story. So.
Right. I will say this about The Force Awakens. My opinion on it when it first came, I didn't even see it in theaters. When I first watched it was at home, and I thought it was good, but that was only because I was just jumping on the prequel hate bandwagon at the time. I mean, I thought it was fun at least, even though I said like this is too similar to A New Hope, but it was getting me hyped for the next movie because I wanted to see Luke in that movie. And we all know how that turned out, but my opinion on it now is Force Awakens 5 out of 10.
Yeah, really, it's a 6.
For me, it's like now for me it's like a 3.5.
Like The Last Jedi 3, and The Rise of Skywalker. A 2.
Honestly, those two movies, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, are both 2s for me. Except, well, no, they're movies that I can find some like certain things in that I enjoy, such as laughing at bad stuff at them. But like people. But yeah, it's just there's too much wrong with it. It breaks the universe.
Yes,
and people even tried to make. There was this guy Ivan Ortega who made an edited version of The Last Jedi that cuts out a whole bunch of stuff and adds in interesting stuff. But guess what? This film's still not very good because of certain things. But yeah, talk about dedication to trying to fix a film, make it tolerable.
And keep in mind, I'm the guy who pretty much likes Star Wars as a whole. When I saw The Force Awakens, I thought it was pretty good. Saw it a second time, in theaters. I thought it was pretty good. Saw on home video, on home media. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. And then when I got excited for Last Jedi, I thought it was pretty. I said, yeah, it has some mistakes, but it's all right. And then 2019 happened. Now, so the true behind the scenes of what is really going on with Disney Star Wars, I haven't seen. Before my realization, I am for some reason my mind wouldn't let me see Solo. Maybe because the articles going on saying that it was a box office bomb. And then 2019 happened, and I saw the real cracks, and I realized Disney Star Wars is fucking garbage.
Yes, it's like the same opinion with IDW Sonic. It's like, then you notice, like, Ian Flynn's great, and then you like him, and you get excited for his stories, and then once the Zombot came, and you see the cracks and the holes, it's fucking garbage, too.
And it goes on for too long, yeah.
I'm like, jeez, how long does this arc need to go on for?
The arcs and Arch. I haven't probably read the arcs and Archie comics yet, but from what I heard, they're short and actually get stuff over pretty quickly.
But once you get to Ian Flynn's run, oh boy.
He haven't read part of it. I haven't fully read part of it yet, but what I did the research, I did like simple research. Oh my! You can clearly tell Ian Flynn dropped out of college.
Yes.
Like, it goes on for, like, Walking Dead lengths of arc, but, well, not the Telltale series, like the TV show, yeah.
I'll be very honest here, I'll be very, 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 very honest. At this point, he's just writing fanfic.
Yeah, pretty much. Not to mention,
look at what happened, look at the way he wrote his own comic, Other M.
You mean he wasn't already doing that?
Sonic X Teletubbies.
I never really read the Sonic X comics.
No, Sonic X Sonic meets Sonic Cross Teletubbies on fanfic by Flynn.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Yeah.
That exists.
Yeah, it's really true. And Ian Flynn deleted it, though, because no one wants to see that image.
But thankfully, Lance Jerkoff did a video on that, on Sonic Cross Teletubby. So,
well, now I've heard everything.
Yes. If anything, I don't want this guy touching Knights, the series at least, Because
Please.
I don't want him to
No.
pretty much slanderize or water down these guys I've known for a while.
Or better yet, don't let him touch any of Sega's IP. I don't want him touching Persona 5 either.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking
By
of,
the way, speaking of these Sonic X issues, Ian Flynn worked on like several of them.
oh dang,
He hogs
yeah.
up all the Sonic comics.
I mean,
Why? Just why?
I guess it was balanced out because apparently one of the writers for like the TV show was also on the comics, but still, I don't think it really helped too much.
And speaking of ignorant people or companies getting their grubby hands on things that doesn't suit these companies, yes, it has nothing to do with it. So my apology would say something that's different from what you guys said. That English dub of Rizaki Channel was hanging out that came out, and from what I heard, it was fucking crap. Made by Funimation, it was fucking crap. You know what? Even if I watch it with the dub involved, I'm going to get is Funimation crap. Student Engi and Kadokawa, I think it's pronounced, gave it was the Uzaki Chan anime to Funimation in the first place. Could have just gave it to Sentai Filmworks. Don't give. Thank God they didn't choose Crunchyroll just because they're just as bad as Funimation. Well,
like Funimation used to be good back in the days. Like I enjoyed like Full Metal Alchemist and Yu Yu Hakusho.
And now, Funimation was also involved in Sonic X when it comes to like licensing. So
yeah,
what? I didn't know that.
But now, my social justice. Well, down the shitter as the English dub of Uzaki Chan it goes. I swear to Christ. I swear to fucking Christ. If Tokyo Movie Shinsha, now TMS Entertainment, which is owned by Sega Sammy, by the way, if TMS Entertainment's subsidiary Telecom Animation Films like upcoming anime to Nagatoro is going to be licensed by either Funimation or Crunchyroll here in the United States, I'm going to be so fucking mad. If Funimation puts out a home media release of Uzaki-chan Was a Hangout, God help it. To quote Morgan Freeman of Outbreak, God help us all.
Amen, then. All right, let's go.
Now that I've seen The Rise of Skywalker, but honestly, this is just an easy movie to enjoy. And you guys don't understand.
An easy movie to enjoy. That counts as simple.
Because it's simple, and Star Wars should be simple, according to Cosmonaut.
Yes, his tiny brain.
Where's my New Hope 2.0?
Also, I am literally hearing Cuphead music.
Cuphead
Okay,
music,
well then that's good. He's not using Star Wars.
Finally.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
He's not using Sonic music.
Oh, finally. Especially Hydro City. For some reason, I pronounce it as Hydrosity. I debate of how
I think
it's
there's
Rawson, so.
I don't think it matters which way you say it.
But anyway,
I was so excited for this movie. Probably the most excited I have ever been for a movie in my entire life. I got out of the theater opening day and immediately wanted to go back and watch it. But the problem is that this movie does not really hold up to multiple rewatches. It's really cool and fun.
Of course not.
Because like fast food, after watching it a lot, you get sick.
You get stale.
Yeah, the Lucas 6, I could just watch them over and over again.
To quote a certain Lego minifigure, to quote a certain Lego minifigure, have you ever heard pizza before? Yeah, this Lego figure says that eating pizzas tastes great on its first eatings, but over time it gets stale very quickly and you want something else. It's equivalent to Gotcha Life or / Gotchaverse. So.
Oh gosh, yeah, Dumbsville did those videos.
Feel bad. What was I gonna say? Like, essentially, the way it's almost, you could say this is even like Michael Bay levels of just popcorn flick.
Yeah, and these people complain that Michael Bay, it's just mindless action, but yet they praise The Force Awakens. Hypocrisy. Speaking of Dunsville labels The Force Awakens as the most tolerable one, and labels Rogue One as like what, like bland. Even though Rogue One, from my and in retrospective sense, from everyone's point of view, is like better, better of the Disney Star Wars movies. The Force Awakens, according to, especially, which can be absolutely agreed, especially from Yellow Flash, that TFA has not aged well to scrutiny.
No.
I kind of do respect his opinion with that. Like, I mean, because when I first saw The Force Awakens and then I saw Rogue One in theaters, like, yeah, that was actually my first theater experience in a long time with Star Wars. And I enjoyed Rogue One, but I didn't like it as much as The Force Awakens because it wasn't as fun to watch for me. But looking back on it now, like, I watched it again and I realized that it makes more sense because it makes more sense in the timeline that it takes place, whereas The Force Awakens is just
just do whatever the fuck you want.
Just do original trilogy negative 2.0.
Yeah, just make it
mainstream media.
Just make it formulaic as hell. That's all it is.
Formulaic is one thing, but it's also plagiarizing someone else's story, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I liked Rogue One. Last I remember, not sure what.
I did not really watch these sequels.
No, good. You're not missing much.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if I give it a second rewatch, I'll probably like point out some things. But
Rogue One, I'd say, is just the only Disney Star Wars movie that's worth at least one watch. I'd say.
Hey, we both read the same mind.
I'd say The Mandalorian is the best one yet.
But it has flaws, from what I've heard.
Oh, please, God, let that second season be good, all right?
Sorry.
Huh?
Oh, I just belched.
Oh, okay.
We didn't hear anything. You're okay.
No.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Also, here's a quick summary of Rey before Cosmonaut gets a quick look at Rey. By the way, Rey is pretty much the reincarnation of Harry Potter and Tumblr mixed into one, and this is the bitch before a certain Tuniki. So.
Also, fun fact, but later on though.
Okay, well, yeah, save it then.
Yeah.
The first time, and then the second time, it's okay, and then it just kind of gets lower and lower after that.
Exactly.
I only enjoyed watching it this time because this is the first time I've seen it in years. So while this movie is inoffensive and easy to enjoy...
Inoffensive and easy to enjoy. Okay, simple count again.
Oh yeah. You know what? We're gonna count that as simple. So that makes us puts us at
because
13.
Easy and simple have the same meaning.
Yes.
We're keeping a simple counter.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's his trademark.
All right.
Because his quote is Star Wars should be simple.
But he's also going to say something that'll contradict that statement about a certain movie in this review too.
Cosmo doesn't care about proofreading nor his own critique. Working on his critiques. He only cares about, just like every other retarded video essayists are out there. They only care about is the money, the fame, the views, and they're showcasing their own editing skills.
And let's not forget that he has a pretty good track record according to his Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy review.
Wait,
honestly, at this point, we're gonna have to make a meme list of the stupid shit that he said about himself.
Also, if we do first get to that point, I want you to play that Spider-Man scream clip.
Also, I must say, looking at this image right here, like both of these actors just deserve friggin' better. They deserve better characters. They deserve better writing.
Instead, they're just giving the Tumblr reject approval.
I felt like none of the actors enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they at least tried their best.
Yeah.
And that's like the only that's like most of the arguments I heard was only, oh, but the sequels are better because they have better visuals and better acting. Well, that's not enough to make a movie good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There isn't a lot for you to take away from it after you've seen it. There isn't much to pull out of this movie that you won't see the first time. However, this movie does serve as a really good...
I got something to say, respond to you, Cool. bigger does not always mean better.
No.
Style does
Yes.
not always mean the style. Best style does not mean better substance. You can't just or better substance does not mean better style. You can't have one or the other. You gotta have both. You're not Quentin Tarantino. You are not some Hollywood director inspired by like you're not like what Roger Corman. I mean, no hatred towards the director. So I'm respectful of the movies he produced or directed, but
it's like IDW Sonic and the Flynn era Archie Sonic, like with the art style and visual updates.
Which we gotta get down. We gotta do more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the future we'll get to it.
Yeah, it's like
another M and well, we'll save that for another time.
Like always, visuals does not mean having a good story either.
Yeah.
Yes, it's essentially style over substance.
Mm-hmm.
It's just popcorn over thinking. I guess.
No, you want to know something? You want to know something that, while I admit it may not be one of the best movies, I'll admit I actually didn't mind that 1980s American Godzilla. I did not mind it at all.
Oh, 1998 Godzilla.
Yeah, you know, the first time they did American Godzilla.
But but that's not considered Godzilla.
Yeah,
its real name is Zilla.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I never did see that one.
It's due to the name and such, understandable.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I remember from it is that's a lot of fish.
Yeah, with Matthew Broderick. Ferris Bueller.
He wasn't really terrible, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reintroduction to the Star Wars series. Seeing this after the prequels is the best breath of fresh air you could ever ask for.
No, I think that's I think that's the complete opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing this after watching Return of the Jedi actually is not a good experience because it doesn't feel like a worthy success. It doesn't feel like a worthy continuation. It just hit the reset button.
But not in a good way.
And people say someone was rating the Disney trilogy, but yet someone down in the comments below rated the Thrawn trilogy books.
Yeah, you know what? That's a thing I wish that we had actually gotten. Like, I wish we had gotten a sequel trilogy that took like elements from the Thrawn trilogy and whatever George had planned for his trilogy, and essentially just kind of did their own thing at least, and had actual people who understood the franchise. Like, I wish we had Thrawn as a villain, because he sounds like from the looks of it, like, he sounds like a really interesting villain.
Yeah.
Always rebels.
And Mara Jade as like an heroine.
Before she fall in love with Luke Skywalker.
You also want to know something? You don't really have many female villains to use.
Yeah. That equates to sexism.
Sexism.
Oh no, I know that doesn't, because they have to make the main characters in a strong female type. Yes, that's how it should be.
Yeah,
in the sequel trilogy,
every male. You're doing, at least.
Yeah, look, guys, look. In the sequel trilogy, especially in the spin-off movies, every single female character is a fucking beta. They think they're quote-unquote alpha, but in reality, they are beta because of feminism.
Yeah, I would rather stick with the Metroid games.
And also, every male in Disney Star Wars, they are also beta. They think they're quote-unquote alpha, but like the women in Disney Star Wars, the men in Disney Star Wars are beta. And trying to be quote-unquote nice.
No, it's really bad when I basically attempt to write characters to be at least accurate, but a little more extended.
That's just not the way I see it about these like male and female counterparts.
And
Alpha
also, Also, the flat out feminism is the new
Mhm.
is the 2016 Ghostbusters film.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
I've seen that movie, and while the visuals were actually interesting, it was a weird movie. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
I have the same feeling, but over time I regret not minding it because it was 2016.
Like
Fucking shit.
Like, I do like Melissa McCarthy. I think she does fit as a good Ghostbuster.
It had a lot of great female actors. It just they had nothing to work with because the person who wrote it just can't write.
I felt like two of them could have been actual Ghostbusters.
And yes, they could have had an all new cast with both male and female, but no,
Yeah.
it's got to be all female, and let's give them a male companion who's an idiot. So
And
yeah.
bring it. And they could have had Will Smith and Paul Rudd in the first place.
Who knows?
Not to mention treating Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and what's the fourth Ghostbusters? What is the actor who plays? What is the name?
Ernie
of the actor
Hudson.
Oh, yeah, Ernie Hudson, giving the middle finger, treating them like dirt, and giving a middle finger dedication to the late Harold Ramis.
Just pissing on his grave.
Yeah.
Oh, and you want to hear something really interesting?
Go ahead.
Chris Stuckman said he liked that movie better than Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, wow. Well, that's his opinion. Also, there's another Ghostbusters coming out next spring.
So progressive.
Oh man!
Wait,
Chris
what?
Stuckman is. I'm saying so progressive. Chris Stuckman is.
Yeah. Yeah, there is going to be another one with Paul Rudd coming out next spring.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Won't be SJW material then, won't it?
No, but it doesn't look that impressive in the first trailer.
Same.
And it's
we
interesting
might
to me
do
because
Chris Stuckman. Who knows?
Yeah.
all of the sequel trilogy movies are like a reaction to something. This movie is a reaction.
They're a reaction to people on the internet who trash George. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The mainstream media,
especially you.
Also, the mainstream media, who back when the prequels came out, labeled, Jar Jar Binks, he's a racist Jamaican stereotype, even though George Lucas and Ahmed Best denied those claims. Jar Jar was inspired by Goofy, and also traits from the Scarecrow, but no, because the mainstream wants to blindly hate Jar Jar to the point where Ahmed Best almost contemplated suicide.
And what you talking about?
And I think he came out saying that he doesn't want to be associated
this movie
with
not
that Jar
very
Jar
good.
anymore.
Not very good.
Not to mention, and also butthurt OT fanatics who got pissed all because George Lucas
raped their child.
Deteriorated the OT with shit unnecessary CGI.
Our beloved OT fans! Our beloved OT original trilogy!
Also, I'll bring this up just to say and agree that he said that he really, really regret making the holiday special.
Yes.
Yeah, and for good reason. It was like, yeah, pretty bad.
There are like
the Disney Star Wars films, save for Rogue One. Anyway, not to mention, Tarek.
Yeah, there are creators who regret doing things like in their own series, like George Lucas with the holiday special. But that was also with Sylvester Stallone with Rocky 5.
And people still say that like George never like actually learned from his mistakes. Like no, okay? No, you're all wrong, okay? George knew what the frick he was doing. Okay, the fact that he like wrote certain things in the original trilogy as he was going along and it turned out to be like everyone's favorite, like shows that he knew what the frick he was doing. And yet people go and shit on him for the prequels just because.
And also the prequels were planned out since the 1970s.
Yeah.
Yes, he always intended it to be a saga. Nothing more, nothing less.
Also,
no issue there.
Oh, and also, not to mention, those regular media reviews, and there be discount dumpster here. The regular media reviews are, and I kid you fucking not, just the confused Matthew reviews, but stylized over substance. And once again, yet Mike claims he did all by himself in his own opinions in a week, but it's simply not the case because the rest of the week was him filming the rape segments, whereas the majority of that week is just him just watching the film once, watching the confused Matthew reviews, parrot confused Matthew's own words, and wrote on the script, narrated on a shitty narration software, and just edit and then edit on the computer after painstakingly recording the entire movie off of a DVD player.
Yeah.
Those were the days, and not to mention, so and also I'm going to be real here. So these people complain about the OT special editions because it raped their childhoods, and they're not they ask it's like, and also Harmony who did the special edition say it's like historical vandalism, and they complain about and they complained about that crap that they're fine with Blade with Blade Runner, the final cut, and that one has this similar treatment. Like what?
Come on.
The hypocrisy. So they hate the special editions, but they like the final cut of Blade Runner. That's some sick hypocrisy right there.
Yes.
And in terms of CGI, they hate the prequels, but some of the people who hate the prequels, including Oliver Harper, like the Spider-Man movies, Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. They don't mind the visual effects, despite, and in their eyes, they like the visual effects despite looking dated. What? You gotta be more specific, guys, please.
I know.
Yeah, like, I swear, all these people they just stretch their opinions across the cosmos, and they just don't bring them back. Like, it just, they just say one thing, they say another.
Right there.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's not go too into. Let's not go too further into
The Last Jedi is a reaction to this movie and to the original trilogy. And then The Rise of Skywalker is a reaction to The Last Jedi. This movie is almost...
Yes, if done by Colin Trevorrow, if we gotten that. But too bad that cunt had to fire his ass and just took J.J. Abrams instead, the conjurer of cheap tricks.
Oh, you want to hear this interesting bit too? Colin Trevorrow's version of Episode 9, he said that his version had Luke living at the end of The Last Jedi, but yeah, Rian Johnson went against that and gave us all the middle finger.
And they pretty much did the escape from and the ending of Luke's own quote unquote sayonara in The Last Jedi is basically it's basically equivalent to watching the ending to and pretty ironically to Lake Cliff Robertson, Escape from L.A.
Yeah,
Too much shit on the entire Star Wars lore into one.
Essentially, like, even if we got the Trevorrow version of Episode 9, I mean, it wouldn't have saved this trilogy from being a complete mess because, yeah, they didn't plan an outline. Because, yeah, Rey in the beginning was meant to be a Kenobi and not nobody else. As, yeah, Daisy Ridley said that, yeah, they had no plan at all. It was pretty apparent since The Last Jedi came out that they just didn't care. So essentially, I mean, but at least it could have ended on a better note than what we had gotten. Like, yeah, like Rise of Skywalker is literally just plot hole the movie.
Also, in the end of Rise of Skywalker, it has a Force Ghost Luke and Force Ghost Leia, but where's Han? Oh wait, he's not. He doesn't use the Force.
He's not Force sensitive. Oh wait. But what about that scene when Kylo Ren was talked to him?
That one retconned.
Oh my god. And yeah, like essentially him seeing the memory of Han Solo was originally meant to see the Force ghost of Anakin, which would have been nice to at least have Hayden come back, and maybe people would have actually liked him better if they could have redeemed him from all the hatred that he gotten from the prequels if they had him do that. But no, Kathleen is incompetent as ever.
Sorry for cutting you off. Continue.
Almost the
No. I mean,
No. I mean, it's just the only. I'd say like the only thing I found interesting was the fact that they had like the Force ghosts of Jedi from even they had voices from even the Clone Wars and Rebels speaking to Rey, which I thought was cool, but it doesn't make any sense because in order to become a Force ghost, they would have to go through all that stuff that Yoda did. Yeah, in the last 4 episodes too. So therefore, yeah, it's just messy as all hell. Like, I mean, maybe it could have been something like going to the land of the dead with dead Jedi and hearing Jedi voices. I don't know. I can only think of certain things.
I'm so glad I saw Richard Jewell in 1917 instead of watching The Rise of Skywalker. Or else, to quote Kevin Smith, it will, you guys know. No Raiders of the Lost Ark spoilers, please. Next.
Yeah.
Please. Next.
Exact opposite kind of movie as the prequels. The actors actually have emotions. The effects are
No, not really. Not as strong as emotions as the prequels and the original
Honestly,
trilogy.
that whole entire argument is completely subjective, okay? To people say that like the actors in the prequels didn't have emotions, look at the fucking scene where just play the clip where it shows Obi-Wan saying, "You were the chosen one." Like
that was emotional.
That was a fucking emotional moment.
Yeah.
Like even people who didn't like
You were the chosen one.
And also that battle with Vader and Luke on the Death Star.
Well, we're talking about the prequels, though.
Yeah.
I know it's been
essentially,
years since I've seen Star Wars and such, but I know for that they showed freaking emotion.
Like, I take, for example, like the first time I actually
and also Padme talking to Anakin on Mustafar.
Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, people make fun of the line, "Anakin, you're breaking my heart."
Keep in mind, guys, these are some of these same people who hate the prequels because of bad acting and bad in the non-existent emotional storytelling and character
or just bad dialogue.
The emotion is so strong at the end of episode 3 that you hate Sidious more.
Yeah,
what he's done.
As I was saying, keep in mind, these are the same people who shit on the prequels because of the bad emotions, bad dialogue, and everything else. But they're perfectly fine with totally not bad, but they're perfectly fine with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. I mean, which a trilogy I grew up on. So yeah, I enjoyed them. But come on, guys, that's blatant hypocrisy. You're cheating on the prequels because of the bad dialogue and bad emotions, but you're liking a trilogy directed by Sam Raimi, which the emotions and the dialogue are about the same as as similar to the prequel trilogy. Not to mention George Lucas is a visual filmmaker. Same goes to Sam Raimi. And what the heck, guys? What the hell are these critics talking? God, what the heck are these inner critics talking about?
Like fuck off, Cosmonauts. The Raimi movies still hold up well. Okay, you're just mean.
Also, fuck you.
It's a fun, campy. Yet you can still have those moments where you get emotions. Feels, man.
Also, fuck you, Oliver. If you think the Sam Raimi movies are the ones that are good and the prequels are just even though they're pretty much in terms of emotional and storyline context, pretty much the same as the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, except the third movie, Spider-Man 3, is sadly been mangled by a studio interference. Lovely.
And essentially, I'll just say this about my experience with emotion in the prequels. Like the first time I truly felt emotion is when Anakin's mother died. After when she was taken by the Tusken Raiders, and I truly felt for him when that happened. And because guess what? I saw the Phantom Menace before that, where he had an attachment to his mother, so therefore I could follow what the fuck was going on. Like people, I still hate that people like to exclude the Phantom Menace from the saga. Like I can't imagine the saga not having that movie. Okay,
It's important.
It is part of the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also just say this. That's rather simple, and then we can continue this.
Yeah.
integrated really well into the movie. The script is fine,
me happy.
and the story is actually easy to understand. When this movie
easy to understand, another fucking simple. Okay.
So what does that make us at? What does that put us at? 14, I guess.
13.
Simple.
Hey, that's a lucky number.
Everyone, keep tabs.
You guys keep going. And let me put my bowl away.
Yeah, okay.
movie
Oh,
came out, a
brother.
lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, Star Wars is actually fun. I forgot." But this movie's just a
Good
repeat
grief.
of A New Hope. Look, I already fucking talked
Yes,
about
it
that.
is.
It is.
Yes,
It's
it is.
formulaic.
Ugh. You saying that people saying that Star Wars is fun. Yeah, well, it was all the people who were essentially just listening to the internet, okay? The internet influenced all that hate, all right? Ugh.
In this video, I'm not here to talk about the fan reaction behind this movie. I've already done that. But in that video, I didn't really talk about how I actually feel about the movie itself. This movie has a lot of elements that I enjoy a lot. I give J.J. Abrams shit for his mystery box style of writing, but I like the stories he started here. I actually like Rey in all of these movies. I know there are
Okay.
people who will hear me say that and immediately turn the video off, but whatever, man.
All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna wait till Grant Harper gets back for this part.
Also, so wait, what he just said about J.J. Abrams and his mystery box stuff. Well, essentially, like, the most frustrating thing I'd say about J.J. Abrams is that he's a guy who's, okay, well, he's good at producing and stuff. I'll give him that. And he's passionate, but he just never, like, follows through with any sort of ideas that he comes up with. Like, he's able to start certain ideas, but he doesn't know how to, like, follow through, essentially.
Just like Star Trek Into Darkness, which is another version of Wrath of Khan.
Like, yeah, he sets up Finn as a defective stormtrooper, and then essentially, yeah, he develops into a rebel, and then it just doesn't go anywhere. Like, well, yeah, I mean, they could have done something if they hired someone else to make the next movie, or I've even heard. Hello?
Sorry, I'm just listening to music.
Oh, goodness. And essentially, if I think that Jay actually did have, like, sort of an outline for the trilogy, but yeah, Kathleen Kennedy just said, fuck you, we're just gonna bring in Rian Johnson to do whatever the fuck he wants, because we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Ruin Johnson.
Oh, good grief. We'll get to that, too.
Hey, I know this is also pretty... I know this is not exactly my position to say, but does that mean there are Major Johnson in all this? You know what this... You got a sunrise, you got a prize, it's you and your Johnson. Your girl and your Johnson.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
I had to spell it out, man. That dick is what I'm trying to say.
And now,
yeah, that was definitely uncomfortable.
All right, let's resume the
sorry.
video.
I can't really help it. I really think people have been giving Rey a very bad rep for
Here
some
it
pretty
comes!
bad
Here it
reasons.
is!
Most people just say they don't like her because she's too strong, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I personally don't really mind seeing...
Pause it. The reason why people hate Rey is because she breaks the universe and she doesn't make sense character-wise.
And
okay?
and also there's no plan. There's also no plan with her. That's why Daisy Ridley hated that role hated the direction with what Disney had planned for Rey, because there was no story outlines fucking ever.
Also, not to mention forcing her to say in interviews, mainly the last year, I say I don't like the Terminator Sue because I think the Terminator Sue is pretty sexist.
Like, I don't hate Daisy Ridley. Like, she's capable of acting. Like, she's capable of being a good actress.
I've seen her in other good roles too, and yeah, and so is Adam Driver as well. I've seen him in a lot of great roles, and I think he's really good. It's just that, yeah, if his character's not well written, then he can only
or a studio has no fucking direction whatsoever.
Yes. Whenever whenever we come across like a character that people don't like, well, don't blame it on the actor, all right, or the actress. Okay, just blame it on the fucking corporate entities. Blame it on the writing. Okay, you don't blame it on the actor. The actor is the one doing what they're told. Okay,
I heard he also there was one guy who bust an action figure box of Rey, and this says, "I fucking hate you, Dizzy Ridley. I hope you fucking die."
Yeah, he's
in the next movie.
Also,
dude, that's going too far.
I wonder, are there any other movies out there before Disney Star Wars that also suffered the same studio interference crap many years ago? Batman and Robin, directed by the now late Joel Schumacher. Never heard of it. Well, actually, I did.
I gotta say, it's cool party.
I do think that I actually consider the Joel Schumacher Batman films like parody films.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gag films.
Like, yeah, they're the kind that's like
so campy.
Like they are a warring dumpster fire, but I seem to enjoy them.
Yeah.
They're the kind of movie that you could throw into the category of so bad it's good, just because it tries to take itself seriously.
Like Anomaly,
but really, it's just
Anomaly
Inc.
enjoys Transformers 4, Age of Extinction, but I didn't like. I thought that movie was terrible.
Yeah, and I know we enjoyed the movie Ready Player One, but a lot of people didn't like it. But that's fine.
I did not see that movie.
I didn't see that movie. Was it good?
It was very good, but not the best movie of 2018.
No, it was certainly had its fair share of problems, but we enjoyed its story and its characters. Yeah.
Well, my favorite film is
sorry.
Bless you. Well, some of my favorite films are corporatized though too, but
at least they're well written. Like
Avengers, Infinity War, and like the Avengers movies. Like it varies though.
I'm basically gonna question how long this video is gonna be. Sir, we keep on pausing.
It's okay. Yeah.
And for bad movies, for me, I think I have a few titles that I really want to try out, see if just so bad it's good, or not. Mainly like Sudden Death, which I've yet to see, and Memoirs of Invisible Man, which I've yet to see. And I think about watching them after I get done with
And I know this is gonna be a bit. I'm gonna be that one awkward person who's literally like, I kind of like the 2019 Lion King live version. I'm not saying it's surpassing the original animated version. Far from it. I'm saying it's an okay movie. It's okay. It's okay.
That's fine then. Yeah, we liked the Aladdin remake. That's fine too.
I
did not see that one yet.
Oh yeah, and even Anomaly said that he liked the Beauty and the Beast remake, but he liked it a lot better than some other.
And Shinobi 03 liked the Aladdin live action version over the original.
I don't mind.
And
I don't mind the book on 2016.
And same with me. Like I like the 101 Dalmatians remake, 1996 remake, over the original.
Yeah.
Neat.
And like. Okay, you first.
And also, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for saying this, but I actually don't mind The Mummy Returns. I granted, yes.
I remember that movie.
Oh yes,
that's a classic, man.
Granted, yes, the movie was clearly rushed. Not to mention, it's not as good as the 1999 film, but I have a lot of fun. Maybe I'll revisit it. From time with my dad or by myself time.
We're just there for the ride, man.
I also love that Victory Scream at the end. One was underrated moments that's yet to be meme. Oh god.
Yeah, that's fine. See, we all are entitled to our own opinions, and don't let anyone take us from that, or just don't let anyone sway you away from what you like. Okay. Moral of the story.
Nosy critics. Looking at you, Doug.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we might do Doug eventually too. So yeah, but let's keep going now.
Character who is good at things in Star Wars. All the other main characters in Star Wars are really good at stuff. Oh, how come Obi-Wan can defeat a Sith Lord all by himself when his master couldn't even do that?
Oh my gosh, dude!
Nice pause! Nice pause!
Oh man. When you nut for the first time.
Oh, Liam. Just a pause on Liam Neeson's face.
Okay, this would be a perfect thumbnail for. Guys, hear me out. This would be a perfect thumbnail if there's like a compilation video of every funny Liam Neeson moment and
Yes.
the rise and fall of Liam Neeson's career. Some clickbait video involving compilations of everything, every single moment of Liam Neeson being every single movie, and that is deemed to be quote unquote funny.
And look at this circus freak right here.
Essentially, yeah, he says that Obi-Wan could defeat a Sith Lord by himself. Well, he nearly gets thrown down the pit, but he manages to he calms himself down and uses the Force, and Maul gets cocky, so that's how he's able to defeat him.
And Obi-Wan was on the brink of defeat too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Obi-Wan was extremely pissed when he jabbed Qui-Gon in the gut.
in the chest.
And that's why
wherever.
Aggressive. That's why Obi-Wan's so aggressive against Maul in his attacks, and immediately severed Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber. So
and the reason is light-sided Jedi are like stronger with the Force, but dark side is stronger with strength.
Yeah, feel, don't think.
Yeah,
right.
In Jedi logic, use the Force, think. But in Qui-Gon and Bruce Lee's logic, don't think. Feel.
Well, in the visuals of the Maul fight, when they get stuck in the laser corridors, Maul is simply pacing, ready to strike his prey. Qui-Gon decides to sit down and meditate to be calm, and he's probably preparing himself to be struck down. Well, he's probably preparing himself because he knows he might not be able to defeat him. And Obi-Wan is all the way in the back, eager. And people still like to make that argument that he could have used Force Dash to like get through it faster and help his master. But I just like to say this: maybe like Obi-Wan had already used the Force jump earlier, so maybe he didn't have enough Force energy to do it. But that's just my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect screenshot, this perfect shot right there. Darkman 3 in unbridled rage.
I know, also gives off a bit of slight Star Wars vibes, yet clearly is in a different category of its own. Kingdom Hearts.
Oh right, Darkman was directed by Sam Raimi, who directed the Spider-Man movie. Oh, the irony. Press on, please.
How come Luke is really good at using the Force without getting any training?
He did train with he did have a little bit of training in episode 4 with Obi-Wan.
Okay, he had some training, but
it's better with any training better than no training.
Essentially, and it's not really him just pulling out like a lightsaber that's only like a few feet away from him from the snow isn't really being that good with the Force, okay? He knows about the Force. He's channeling himself he's calming himself down and using it to get the lightsaber. By
the way, this is practically where your cousin lives, Cole.
Yes,
that got his like arm chopped off.
Oh yeah.
Poor Wampa.
Yeah.
Star Wars characters are really lucky and they're really good at shit because they're the main characters.
I just had to pause it right there.
This would be perfect. This would be a perfect thumbnail right there.
Because they're main characters.
Stupid action adventure series. Yet people only care that Rey's without getting any training.
All right,
Star Wars characters are really lucky and they're really good at shit because they're the main characters of a stupid action-adventure series.
Main characters of a stupid action-adventure series? What's just such some cuntish logic, dude?
I think I heard this before. You need to understand that these movies are what? How can I say it? Movie about space war, baseball.
They're just main characters of a stupid action-adventure series. You're driving me fucking crazy.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
I think I figured it out. You need to remember that this is the movie first original metaphor, and not a documentary about what things happening in space. Bruh. That comment.
Oh my gosh, that logic was laughable right there.
Essentially, I'm not going to say too much, but we should play a clip from another review that he has done, Star Wars related.
Rebel?
Can you cue it up real quick?
All right.
Yes, please.
Yes. Why Cosmonaut Variety Hour sucks.
The characters in this show are fucking horrible. Let's start with Sabine. Sabine is a walking Hot Topic ad. She looks like something that you would find in Toys R Us, not a show about terrorists. She feels like the forced, strong female character, but not in the way that she's well-written or understandable. She's like the Angelina Jolie action hero. She has cool stuff that she can do, but there's really nothing underneath it. Her character is so cliche that it feels like she's not supposed to be taken seriously. It feels like she should be written kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of like a D&D character that you might make. She's a tough-as-nails ex-bounty hunter that used to work with space gangsters. She's an expert hand-to-hand combatant, marksman, and demolitionist. She's a talented artist, and she's pretty, but she likes to keep to herself and doesn't really trust anyone. She's also a Mandalorian, and she has a lightsaber, even though she's not a Jedi, except her lightsaber is black, so it's cooler than other lightsabers.
Which appeared in the Clone Wars Season 5 before.
And also, she's the queen of the Mandalorians, too. I didn't mention that, but she's the queen of the Mandalorians, and she's also only 16 years old. Yeah. She's only 16 years old. She's only 16 years old, and she has this much shit that's happened to her. Can you guys understand why I might be a little disappointed in this kind of storytelling? She couldn't be more Mary Sue unless she was also Force-sensitive, which at this point wouldn't even really surprise me.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You get the picture.
Yeah.
Cosmonaut has literally zero self-awareness, okay? Like, literally everything he just said about Sabine completely contradicts how he feels about Rey. And yet, for some reason, he feels the need to say that everyone in Star Wars is a Mary Sue. Well, that's just stupid. If everyone in Star Wars was a Mary Sue, then I'm sure nobody would like Star Wars.
Even if that's excuse, this video's 2 years prior. It's not a get-out-of-jail-free card.
No.
Also, Cosmonaut doesn't fully understand what Mary Sue truly is or what it means.
Exactly.
Deus Ex Machina, a female Deus Ex Machina, as retcon, as pretty much serves as the what offers wish fulfillment. That's supposed to do. Oh, her, I could do everything. No problem. I get a few bruises, no problem.
It's like the equivalency of people calling. It's like the equivalency of people calling Sally Acorn a Mary Sue, even though it's clearly stated that she isn't.
No. Mary Sues are characters that can do no wrong, have everyone praise them, and never struggle. Okay, they're not well written. They're not relatable. They're not something that people can actually go by. Okay, because it's not believable.
This is Harry Potter. Also, I hate to be Cosmonaut here, but I'm going to label Tangle and Whisper as Mary Sue's. Not to mention influence wish fulfillment because not only my gayness but my feminism. I'm sorry, but it's true.
All right.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Let's go.
It's cool, man. It's cool.
Yeah, people only care that Rey is really good at shit, and it drives me fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, you drive us fucking crazy, Cosmo.
And also I was going to say that, he doesn't know that the Darksaber was in the Clone Wars. Yeah, that was stupid as well.
Yeah.
This man just...
where Darth Maul was, like, dueling a Mandalorian wielding one.
And he used it when dueling Darth Sidious as well, so therefore, him just saying it's a lightsaber but it's black is just him being stupid, as always. Okay. All right, let's go.
Normally, there's the concern that if a character's too good at stuff, it drains the tension out of the movie. And yeah, that's normally right, but there's still...
But when it's like directionless and is universe breaking, that's where I draw the line.
Yes.
plenty of tension in this movie. Rey and her friends get shot at by space Nazis, they get attacked by a Cthulhu monster, she gets kidnapped, and then before the final battle, she gets knocked out for a while. If you think this movie doesn't have tension or stakes,
look at that.
I don't know what to tell you. And this goes more into the later movies, but I personally really like the idea.
Baseball bats everywhere.
Yeah,
and baseball bat. Why?
No stunt doubles.
Also, these are the same people that complain about the choreography in the prequel, saying, "Oh, it's too flash, too circle, it's
too disco."
Motion.
Yeah.
Well, looky here.
Of having this character who is so infallibly good.
Hold on.
You got these people. You got the sequel trilogy, which this takes the dated lightsaber duels in the original trilogy, and then takes a piss on the prequels and decide to turn the lightsabers into baseball bats. Like
really a downgrade, don't you think?
No,
well, essentially, like
unintended, but yeah, they're treating it as sports clubs. Treating it as baseball bats or golf clubs at this point.
And essentially, like, yeah, people even complained about the prequels choreography fights being too over the top, and one person said that it even looked like a ballet dance. Like, are you stupid?
What? I don't get it.
Like, yeah, okay, we might have to do a video on that guy. He did the top 10 worst Clone Wars episodes, I believe, and the top 15 best, I think. Oh, we'll do him in the future, essentially. But yeah, the way I see it is that when people bash battle choreography, they have to keep in mind that choreography is something that takes a lot of practice, a lot of knowledge of like certain blade, like fighting styles and stuff. Like Obi-Wan's fighting style is Soresu, and Anakin's style, I believe, is what's the name? But yeah, there's a lot of like different techniques that are based on real fighting styles that they use, and it takes a lot of rehearsing and practicing. Like, look at the way that Ray Park and Obi-Wan in the first movie were fighting. Like, yeah, George said that they were moving so fast that he had to slow it down to make it look more believable. But the fact is that the fact that they were moving faster than how it is in the film really shows how much effort they put into it in the prequels. Yes, and also the Dooku fight with Yoda. The stunt double is fighting with literally nothing, and the way it turned out is that it looks very convincing.
Mm-hmm.
And also finally, Ian McDiarmid versus Samuel L. Jackson. They were two guys who weren't really good with battle choreography, especially Ian McDiarmid. He was very awkward. But essentially the way it turned out, like, yeah, he sped up some of their footage and then added some CGI, but he never used a stunt double, I think. But the way it turned out still was good. I mean, that's why, yeah.
And the camera was moving so fast along with those two.
Like, really, like they put in.
Yeah,
like, they put in so much effort for all this battle choreography stuff, and then people like this asshole just go on the internet and say, this looks incredibly over the top, and I don't feel emotionally connected. Go fuck yourself!
Also, continue.
Good and pure of heart that she never runs the risk of falling to the dark side on her own. I've always just seen Rey as like a Disney princess in space who...
No. Not at all.
Please.
Don't go there.
Disney princesses have more fucking personality and actually struggle.
Yeah, I think Rapunzel would like to have a word with you.
The Queen Alien from Queen Xenomorph from Aliens will like to have a word with you. Also, sorry for cutting you off, Kukul. I was saying continue to you, Kukul, not the video.
Yeah, no, it gets confusing sometimes.
But I was gonna say, to all these 80s fans and 80s nostalgic fanboys who just shit on the prequels and were being like, "Oh, it looks like a dance, bruh." Have you ever seen a music video like Like, have you ever seen music videos like to Paul Dole's songs to a straight up or opposites track, and you try to compare it to the prequel? Do you see any correlations that the prequels are considered dance worthy? No.
No, I
No.
don't see it at all.
Oh, brother. Like, people only love to praise the original trilogy fights just because of the emotion at stake. But really, the way I see it is this, okay? A good fight needs to have good choreography and good emotion, okay? The prequels does it well. The OT does it mostly well. The sequel trilogy blows. That end of story.
Anyway, press on.
Who gets to kill people with a sword? I don't know. I think that's a pretty fun idea. That's something we haven't gotten in a Star Wars movie before, and it's the #1 thing I wanted from these movies. To see something new. And that brings me to the next thing that I like in this movie.
What
Finn,
kind of boring
the story about a
characters
stormtrooper who turns good, has selfish intentions at first, and then eventually finds something worth fighting for, is such a compelling story. I really liked his arc in this
except
movie.
the way it's handled is pretty half-assed.
Yeah, and as Disney listened to the racist Chinese.
Yep.
It was so compelling, he became utterly useless.
Yes, they literally did nothing with this character for the rest of the trilogy.
Because
Yeah.
they
Like, after
had
the first
because
this movie, his character arc is complete.
because pretty much they had to listen to the racist Chinese. That's all.
And it wasn't
I
just
never
that.
got
They
that.
just didn't have a direction for him. They didn't think. They didn't think ahead.
But
I think he's a great character to pair with Rey as the leads of this movie. The problem lies
Like
with how he's...
that. They could have made him go from a stormtrooper to an actual Jedi fighting for the better, but again, they just fucking didn't care enough.
No.
They just,
But for some reason, they want Rey because of feminism. And guess what they treat Finn as? Like, come get, I'll crap my lights. Like,
What a bunch of simps.
he should have died from that, or should have been paralyzed from that.
yeah, seriously. Like, yeah, him getting, like, his spine gets eviscerated by Kylo, and then it's immediately better in, like, just a few hours. That's or just a few days. That's stupid, okay? That doesn't make sense.
and also him screaming, "Ray!"
Yeah, that became a meme, too.
Okay, I'm sorry, but Rey is basically the equivalent of Tails saying, Sonic!
Ray!
1,000 times. Rey! He's treating Rey as Sonic, and Fizz is like Tails. Like, what?
Are we talking like Sonic Forces versions?
Ray!
Or Sonic Unleashed version of Tails? God, help me.
Yeah, I could see, but at least Tails did not act like a full-on pussy.
Ugh, they still did him dirty a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even in
Well,
IDW's last issue of the Zombot arc.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He still always hides behind rocks. Acts like a...
Now it's really bad when Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Tails actually bothered to do something.
Yeah.
Yes. It seems like they haven't learned anything from their writing staff. But you know what? It's just all the same. Like, they just don't give a shit no more.
No.
Before Sonic Unleashed enforces, Tails is basically the equivalent of Anakin Skywalker, James Horner, rest in peace, and Jeff Bridges' character, Dr. Ross Jennings from Arachnophobia. Okay, call me crazy, but that's what I see. And guess what they did to him? Treat him Sonic Unleashed Forces came, and they pretty much treat him like Hermit Luke Skywalker from Disney Star Wars movies, except
Yes.
it's with a Flynn twist in it. I mean, with a Finn twist in it. I mean,
Yep.
Such character assassination.
mm-hmm. Luke got his character assassinated. Tails got his character assassinated.
Shadow.
Man.
Yeah. Ugh, good grief.
Tails,
All right, let's keep going.
Is treated
Where's
in the
Vegeta
following
eyes?
films.
Huh.
They completely fuck up everything good that they do with Finn in this movie, but I'll talk more about that later. Right now, let's talk about the best character in this whole trilogy.
The most
Kylo
inconsistent?
Ren. Kylo Ren is an
If you buy
amazing
best
character.
character, yeah,
he
you
is a
need
fantastic Star Wars character, and he is by
Mr.
far the most
Mr.
complete
Okay, hold
character.
on.
Mr. Angsty Boy.
Hold on. You just said he's a good Star Wars character? What, like, as if you know what a good Star Wars character is, you just get to dictate what is a good Star Wars character and what isn't? Yeah, go fuck yourself.
I acquire a map to Luke Skywalker. I want the map to Luke Skywalker. Raisins. I want the map to Luke Skywalker.
But yeah, at least on the bright side, at least there's no Silver Fox to have a harem in here.
No.
Silver. What do you mean, Silver Fox?
I'll tell you about it afterwards.
Yeah.
In these movies. Even people who don't like these movies like Kylo Ren, because he's the only character
nope,
that
you're
feels
wrong.
like he has a cohesive and planned out story arc.
No,
you
he
could
does
not be further from wrong. Oh my god. Okay,
I thought it was
listen.
just some Darth Vader wannabe. The
Well,
Boba Fett
it's how
helmet.
Okay, it's how it started out essentially.
A shirtless Darth Vader wannabe.
Essentially, he starts out wanting to finish what his grandfather started, and there's no explanation how he even got the burn mask in the first place. And then in the next movie, he just wants to kill the past because inconsistent writing. Like, he goes from wanting to he goes from wanting to kill the past to then just wanting to revisit stuff and then not wanting to do anything, and then just becomes good because he sees a memory of Han Solo. Like, he goes to...
I mean, we did get a good meme from all of this.
Yeah, we made fun of that too, but we... Essentially, like, when he goes to, like, attempts to shoot his mother out of the ship, he just decides against it, and then instead the TIE fighters don't. But then after that, he's just willing to kill more, and is essentially, after he kills Snoke, he just wants to take control of everything. Like, it's just clear that there was no direction at all. All right, you're wrong, Marcus. You're wrong.
Also,
wrong.
And I'll finish what you have started. Golly, that sounds like a certain someone that, and also a certain group of people that whine against George Lucas all day before he sold Disney, and their dreams have come true. Come Disney Star Wars. I wonder who those people be.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. Add something in my throat. I'm okay.
All right, press on.
Sith who is struggling with the pull of the light side is such a fun and intriguing idea. And when you pair this with Rey, who again is this infallibly good person, it creates a dynamic that I actually like a lot. It drives me mad when people say that this movie isn't original enough, when all of the main characters have completely different archetypes than stuff that we've seen before. I really think people are far too hard on the characters in the sequel trilogy, because the characters in this movie have the most important element: charisma. It makes me think of Will Smith. Will Smith can do a good job sometimes, but most of the time he's just around to have fun. Good performances or not, people just like watching him. I feel the same way when I see the characters in this movie. I like that Kylo Ren isn't just this edgy...
they're shallow.
Okay, Marcus, what does Will Smith got to do with Rey and Kylo and the other characters? Will Smith is leagues different than... Okay, sorry for that piss poor grammar, but leagues different. But is different in terms of league size, than
down with the art.
And then what the characters like act and behave. Will Smith is Will Smith in real life. The characters in Disney Star Wars are just made up pro Tumblr fanfic characters. That you and her and witnessed countless times and made different fanfics. That's it.
The way I see it is that I want good characters with good charisma, but I want them to have personality. and I want them to actually I want their presence to be meaningful in the story. Okay, if it's a character's if it's a character-driven story, then you got to make them have good charisma and good personality. Okay, charisma isn't enough to make me like a character. All right, there has to be a good there has to be a good writing. There has to be a good and cohesive narrative to go along with it. There has to be a good motivation and goal at hand. Otherwise, there's just no incentive to care enough. And essentially, the way I see it is that all these characters, they had something set up in the beginning, but again, since they had no direction, there's just nothing to follow through with. Even with Kylo Ren, okay? Nothing about him makes sense.
Yeah, other than just to be a shirtless edgelord.
Whiny one at that. Also, Hux used to be calm but intimidating and perfect companion towards Kylo. No homo. But in Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, for some reason, wants to make fun of Hux and turn him into and discount Spaceball's character.
Oh my god, yeah, that's another thing that people hate about this trilogy is that the villains are just anything but intimidating, okay?
They become like Marvel laughingstock villains.
Or 80s action stock, or discount 80s action stock music, because people grew up with the OGs are so used to watching R-rated movies like Commando and Lethal Weapon, and that to the point where important characters like this pretty much exist in those archetypes, except done way worse than the ones in the 80s.
It seriously just feels like Disney forgot that villains are supposed to be intimidating. They're supposed to throw as a threat. When you make yo mama jokes towards them, that ruins the fucking tension, dumbasses.
Yeah, one time, me and Cole, imagine if Hunchback of Notre Dame remake was directed by Rian Johnson, Frollo would make a yo mama joke.
Well, I think it was Phoebus made one. I think I said Phoebus would make one towards his mom, but okay, we're getting a little too ahead of ourselves there. Yeah. Don't give Disney ideas, please.
Please, I'm begging you, please.
The evil asshole. He's kind of cheeky and sassy.
It escaped capture aboard a stolen Carillion YT model freighter.
The droid stole a freighter.
It's just so easy for these movies to have this stereotypically evil mustache-twirling villain, and I like seeing someone who actually has a fucking personality.
I'm Ben Solo, bitch! I'm Ben Solo! I'm Ben Solo!
Oh god, no. Please, no.
Fine. They have enough energy and passion for this movie that it makes their corny lines much more bearable. Some people might think this is weird to say, but you do not need to be doing an amazing performance for the movie to be good.
Because it's Marvel dialogue.
What? Hold on. You don't
movie that it makes their corny lines much more bearable. Some people might think this is weird to say, but you do not need to be doing an amazing performance for the movie to be good.
Only a millennial like you, Cosmonaut, deals in absolutes with cringy or cheesy or corny dialogue like the sequel trilogy, which has loads of horrid dialogue that doesn't even count as meme and spells as deemed as bad memes.
Only a fucking dumbass can deal with this fucking shit. Characters, you don't have to be, the acting doesn't have to be that good for the movie to be great. Then why the fuck did you say that the prequels are bad because they have bad acting and that's fucking stupid, all right? You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
In case I
said... You're so stupid!
Okay.
There you go.
The prequels are inspired by the golden age of Hollywood and Flash Gordon, the era that people are not interested in. And granted, yes, I'm part of these people, but the more I look back at them, the more, just as North by Northwest, the more I appreciate them, including Casablanca, for the acting, how the acting was portrayed at the time, and how dialogues carried out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm by the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understanding.
I'm going to be spewing out a lot of hot takes in this video, but I feel like this one's going to be hard for people to take. I mean, look at Tom Hardy in Mad Max. He's honestly not doing a very good job, and he even admitted that himself. He was apparently very miserable when this movie was made, and he thought it was going to be bad. And in the movie, he kind of feels like a goofy Star Wars character.
Exactly.
But it doesn't matter because he's fully acceptable for what the movie is. However, I will admit that some of
I don't know about Tom Hardy, but it's Tom Hardy is just I think he's not suited. Call me out, but I don't think he's not suited for Mad Max. I think Mel Gibson did better, but he's at his age. So,
I haven't seen the originals, and I'd probably have to go back and rewatch that one. I thought Mad Max Fury Road was good, but not great. That's it.
Yeah. Never watched Fury Road, but I find it overrated. To be honest.
Yeah, people just only love it because of spectacle and stuff. When people realize that it has a very minimal story.
Yeah,
it's not really a whole lot going on.
Yeah,
it has the same director as the previous films, but it's not enough. But it has different writing. Not to mention the music by Tom Hockenberg, where it's pronounced, last name pronounced, aka Junkie XL. The only track I like is Brothers in Arms. Other than that, it's just discount Martin Hans Zimmer extravaganza Dell up to 11. To be honest, I'm more comfortable with Brian May and Maurice Jarrett's scores in the first 3 Mad Max films, even though I never saw those films. Also, the first 3 scores are my to listen list. So take it as well. But Maurice Jarrett and Brian May for the first 2 films, Brian May and Maurice Jarrett Beyond Thunderdome did it better. Junkie XL, he missed. Except for Brothers in Arms, which is a good track. Other than that.
All right, then. Well, that's good, then. You got your thoughts out.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, press on.
Lines in this movie are kind of annoying. The charisma can't save everything, and there's a certain point in this movie where the jokes just start to get on your nerves. The last third of this movie...
Of course it does!
Exactly.
Because it's Marvel fucking dialogue.
Yes. Like, if you were to tell me that him going like, oh, they fly now 3 times isn't Marvel dialogue, and I'm sorry, then you probably haven't seen a single MCU movie.
I'm sorry, you haven't seen Attack of the Clones.
Okay, yeah, like compare because
jetpacks.
Like, okay, let's compare the fucking Yo Mama moment from the beginning of The Last Jedi to, let's say, the death stick scene in Attack of the Clones, okay? So, yeah, Obi-Wan is just getting a drink, and a guy is tempting him for the death sticks. Obi-Wan just uses his Jedi mind trick on him and just makes him say, yeah, I'm not going to sell you this. I'm going to go home and rethink your life. It's quick and to the point, and it doesn't drag on. Okay,
it's like a little short PSA.
Yeah. And essentially, let's compare it to the Yo Mama moment. Okay, so Poe is playing with him, like, essentially just saying, okay, I'll hold. And Hux doesn't realize it, like, at first. And so he does it a second time, and then Hux still doesn't realize it, which starts to it starts to drag out. And so they try and clock in, and then that's when he makes the stupid Yo Mama joke. And then it takes his other right-hand man to tell him that he's being toyed with. Then he says open fire. Like, that doesn't work because it drags on for too long. It just makes him seem stupid and incompetent. And it's just really a Yo Mama joke in Star Wars.
I don't get it.
Really, the way it should have been is that at first he didn't realize he was being toyed with, but the second time that he says, okay, I'll hold, Hux should have just said immediately, open fire, because he realized he was being toyed with. Like, that's it. Should have been like that.
Also, keep in mind, these are the same people who like these films. These are the same people who don't like Spider-Man 3. Yes, granted, it's not as good as the first 2 films because studio interference, not to mention the script is very muddy. These are the same people who think, oh, the jokes that people get, it's all bad, it's all bad stuff. Yeah, that's mentioned jokes bad, but they're perfectly okay with happy MCU like jokes like this in the Disney Star Wars movie.
No, you know what? I find Huck's Yo Mama joke like a Spaceballs joke.
Or it feels more like something that you'd see in the Lego version, not the actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's more like a Spaceballs joke.
I'm so glad Traveler's Tales / TV games never made Lego Stars last year because
next year it will be.
Yeah, I know, but I'm so glad they didn't. Or else, oh yikes! But yeah, they're working on a new definitive version that's going to replace Lego Stars. The complete saga is called like what? Lego Stars: The Skywalker Saga. Is that the cartel?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
but I'm skipping the cutscenes in the sequel trilogy.
I'm skipping playing on those movies entirely because they're not canon for me.
No.
Yeah, unless I want to do it for completion, I'm just bother the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, a completionist thing.
Yeah. I hope that they put both Kathleen Kennedy and George Lucas in the game so I can play as him and beat the shit out of her.
Also, by the way, the actor who gave the map, the late actor who was in Game of Thrones, is also the same one who he played the guy who gave the map to and he gave the map to Poe. That guy who he gave the map to Poe is the same guy who played the villain, the main villain in that Flash Gordon movie, the 80s, I think the 80s one.
Yeah.
The one that says pathetic Earthlings.
Earthling, nice pause, Ty.
Yes. That's not how the Force works.
That's not how consent works. That was from what I just said is from like Screen Junkie's Runner video.
Yeah, that's not how Star Wars works, is what it should be.
That's not how Blade Runner works.
Okay, let's go.
Movie does not need jokes. If I had it my way, there would be no more humor after Han says that one joke about the Force. There is a time and place for humor in a screenplay, and I don't think these Star Wars movies really understand that. The fan service.
You keep on saying that while you just suck up the Last Jedi all you want. Keep saying that. Keep saying that. Keep saying it while you spout.
And look at this practical effects. Yes, some of you original trilogy fanatics love this stuff. Because when something's real, it felt real.
MCU for the win.
Needs to chill the fuck out.
These are seeing people like Thor Ragnarok, the
So-
most criminally overrated movie in MCU history. And I almost watched Ragnarok, but my DVD drive, my laptop kept acting up. It won't play the DVD. So
Is that one joke about the Force. There is a time and place for humor in a screenplay, and I don't think these Star Wars movies really understand that. Also, the fan service needs to chill the fuck out. People do not need to be constantly reminded of the older movies. But either way...
And you still praise it? What the fuck is it? What the fuck is going on in your fucking head, dude?
Is Cosmonaut smoking something?
Are you fucking high? Or some shit like that?
He must be watching Little Einsteins. He must be watching Little Einsteins when watching the TFA. He's watching Little Einsteins instead of watching TFA when writing the script. He must be. Oh god, don't get me started on Little Einsteins, please. Anyway, press on.
No matter how I may feel about the following movies in the trilogy, I do think this movie does a good job of setting up a story. We have compelling heroes.
In which it did not set up a story to begin with.
Yeah, a story that literally went nowhere. It went off the fucking rails and essentially downhill. Under the sea.
I'm always pausing at great moments.
Yes.
Okay. Not gonna lie. This is the best This is one of the best moment. This is the only best moment in TFA. That lightsaber, it belongs to me. Come get it. Ah! That was just a meme going out there. That lightsaber, it belongs to me. It belongs to the museum.
Honestly, oh gosh, yes. Honestly, I would say, yeah, this is the only scene in the movie that did kind of give me chills when I first saw it, because we were finally going to see like another great lightsaber duel. And essentially, yeah, Kylo using his cross-guard saber, I thought was cool because, yeah, he burns Finn's shoulder with it, and it shows that, yeah, you can do more damage with this kind of saber. And then essentially Rey comes in, and then it just becomes a mess, and then goes downhill.
Yep.
A unique villain and some cool stuff to explore. Whether the later movies follow up on these elements is still up for discussion, but as it stands, this movie's pretty good, and the later movies don't make it worse for me.
And look at that.
So I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10.
Okay, Star Wars music.
Rouge 1.
Rouge? What the fuck?
Rouge 1.
I think that was supposed to say Rogue.
Rogue.
I know, I'm making
Rouge
a joke.
Okay. Someone give me some.
If you put 34 on the bottom, that would be funny.
All right, okay, I've said too much. Let's go.
Let's not.
Yeah, sorry. I know you guys want me to talk about The Last Jedi again, but this one did come first, so we gotta talk about it. Now, I've clowned on Rogue One a lot in the past, but my secret is that I actually kinda like this movie now. But not completely. There's still stuff in this movie that I think is really stupid, and I don't think it works that well as a movie on its own. I think this movie is tied with Last Jedi as the best.
Okay, Cosmonaut. For the love of God, I like Hydro City's Act 1 music, but you please, I'm begging you, please lay off the Sonic Mania, the crappy Sonic Mania version of Hydro City Act 1, well, it's called Act 2 in Sonic Mania. Lay off the Sonic Mania rendition of Hydro City Act 1, or unless it's Act 2. Well,
Act 1. It's Act 1.
Yeah, I know, but for some reason in Sonic...
let's lay off on the Mania music.
Let's lay off the Mania version of Hydro City Act 1 music, please.
It makes me haunt my nightmares when you're gonna review Archie and IDW Sonic.
Just play something else. Play Angel Island Act 2, or even the Michael Jackson composed music from Sonic 3, like Carnival Night or Ice. That was the Ice Cat one's Bragg Buxer, and also Launch Base Zone, or heck, even the prototype / PC versions of those tracks, like Carnival.
There's like,
or heck, even Sonic Unleashed. Okay, copyright strike for that. But even like Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure, you could have chose any single Sonic the Hedgehog music track, but all you rely on is a crappy Mania T-Whoops rendition of Hydro City Act 1.
I mean, at least he's not using Knight's music, because that would be very inappropriate for this kind of video.
Yes.
Okay, well, I will say that I do like Hydro City, but he does use it entirely too much. Like, I wish he would use like maybe Marble Hill Zone or Windy Hill Zone. Like, there's so much good variety you could use for Sonic. All right, or
your Cosmonaut Variety Hour. Come on.
Yeah, you're called Cosmonaut Variety Hour, for fuck's sake.
I've got the better version.
Oh wait, Cosmonaut Variety Hour, Hydro City, Hydronaut Variety Hour, Hydro.
Okay.
Variety Hour.
That's explosion there.
Yes, it's from the Death Star. Yeah.
Save the dream, save the rebellion, save the dream.
In Star Wars movies, the shots in this movie are just so good. This movie has a very clear vision as far as the imagery goes. This is the first Star Wars movie I saw where I loved the cinematography. However, while this movie exceeds expectations as far as the visuals go, everything else is kind of a mess. Not only is the pacing atrocious, but this movie has some of the worst character writing I've ever seen.
Oh, This movie has bad character writing?
Oh, okay. No. That's the sequel trilogy, my friend. That is the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. In terms of pacing, I do think the first act is kind of slow, but I was still invested in the story and stuff, and it expands on the universe. It expands on the worlds, at least. We got to see more cool stuff. And yeah, seeing the Death Star blow up a planet in this kind of way I felt was much more it was much more believable than when they blew up Alderaan. Like, that's another gripe I have with A New Hope is Alderaan's destruction just feels kind of rushed, I'd say, because it is it's an important place and stuff where Bail Organa is. Bail is killed when that happens.
No weapons, of course.
I said that the acting in The Force Awakens doesn't need to be good because that kind of movie doesn't require good acting. I feel like the opposite is true here. This movie isn't the crazy, bombastic, fun action movie like the last one is. It's a dark, gritty war movie where our heroes die in the end.
Of course! It's a spin-off film.
Oh, you know,
I'm sorry, but
he's the guy who likes The Empire Strikes Back calls a dark, gritty film. Or calls the entire OT dark, gritty. He blew dark and gritty. He blew a whole planet of people. Star Wars is really dark, gritty film.
Heck, you don't like Revenge of the Sith, and now you really don't like this because they're too dark and gritty.
Make up your mind, Ron.
This man just doesn't know what he's talking about. He'll just say, he either prefers films that are just whatever to his liking just to fit in with a certain crowd that do, or he'll just say that Star Wars should be simple and he likes this as well. We're gonna get to that soon enough. Okay, we're gonna provide more arguments later with that.
Yep.
I think this movie very much does require better writing and better acting. Because in order for us to be hit by the death of these characters, we need to understand them as people a little better. The most baffling aspect of this movie is that
I will kind of agree with that. Yes, I do. It makes me kind of wish this was more of a mini-series than a 2-hour movie. But at the same time, I think that was the purpose of this film anyways, is to show the life of certain different civilians throughout the age of the Empire. How they would go about things and how they could make a difference if they actually tried to rebel against things. I think, when I first saw it, I'll admit I did kind of have the same problems that this guy is saying, but watching it again actually made me realize that this adds so much to the story that was told in A New Hope, and it really provides a showcase of what the rebellion will become, I feel.
Yep.
Has a ton of great actors, and yet all of the criticism that this movie has received is that it has trouble making you care about the characters. We are back to having a movie where the characters don't have character traits. And that would be fine if the movie had less characters. But we have so many, and there's no connective tissue between them. Jyn Erso jumps from not caring about anything to wanting to fight the Empire because her dad died, and now she wants to fight with the rebellion. But the rebellion technically killed her dad, and yet now she'll die for them? What? This event
that's not what happens. Oh, boy.
Also, speaking of MCU, that director character, director Krennic?
Krennic, yes.
Played by the same guy who voiced one of those. What are those aliens from Captain Marvel? What are they called? Skrulls?
The Skrulls, yes.
Yes.
The main Skrull from Captain Marvel. How ironic. Not to mention the main villain from Ready Player One. He was also in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had a pretty big role lately.
Him and Samuel Jackson were the good parts of Captain Marvel.
Dr. Krennic, I'm CIA.
Essentially, I'd have to rewatch it again. I don't
I don't know.
It's
I
like
didn't Captain Marvel because I think the movie is just bitch.
I'm talking about Rogue One. I have to rewatch that.
Yeah, me too.
Things like her motivation for helping the rebellion is doing the right thing for her father because, well, yeah, she knows about the Death Star and the destruction it will cause. So she wants to do it for the greater good. And at the end, she has helped them give the plans. And so, Cassian says, your father would be proud of you for that. So therefore, she accomplished her goal. That was her motivation. Okay. Simple as that.
Even more jaded towards the war. There was never anything to realistically turn her into a fucking freedom fighter. Bodhi Rook is underused as fuck.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare. Stay away from them, please.
Stay away from who?
You know what? The freedom fighters.
Oh.
Exactly. You want to don't
Ellie, Rotor,
no.
Bunny Rabbit.
Don't you ever say anything about them. Don't you dare go on to talk about Archie and IDW if you're gonna just praise Flynn for all video long.
If he does the song "Call Me Johnny" of shilling for Flynn, I don't know what to say about this
and the game
song.
apologist too.
If he's going to talk shit about the Freedom Fighters, I'm going to talk shit about him too.
Yes.
Yes.
Good grief. Yeah, some Call Me Johnny didn't help either.
Nor the game apologist.
Also, fun fact: I made a comment. I was wondering, wait, why is Johnny like a Flippin' Sonic show? Like, I made a comment like, wait a minute, did he did anything wrong? I was commenting on one of Lance Jerkoff's videos, on the Ian Flynn one, and some guy told me saying that he used to be good, but around the Legend of Zelda videos, I started losing interest. That's what one of the people comment my comment says. And also the person who made the comment also mentions that some comics Johnny is pretty much inspires many other people, especially many other YouTubers who does the same thing, same formula, and parrot the same opinions the same way that Rela Mia does. Remember Johnny's Mega Man and Bass review? Well, that's been parodied. Yeah, that's been used to parrot as the worst Mega Man game ever until APG made an entire review on it, in-depth review on it, and even rightfully claims that Mega Man Base is not a bad game as everyone makes it out to be. It even ends it with this: I just want to emphasize that just because one reviewer said that the game is really frustrating doesn't make it a proven fact now and for all of time. A reviewer's opinion is just that, an opinion. And most certainly like it because this game is going for it. But you should never let any other person decide your opinions for you, whether it's me, Jay, or anybody else. As long as you give this game an honest, fair shot, you can argue the case, then it tells me that you actually played the game instead of just going by a narrative, going by some Call Me Johnny's words. That's what EPG is trying to tell us here.
Not to mention, it seems pretty biased to certain Sonic games, shall we say?
Mm-hmm. We just want good writers.
And also, Johnny chastises Ken Penders all the fucking time, even nowadays.
Yeah, and
look, I may not look. I'll be honest here. I still don't really like Ken Penders, but that doesn't mean I like Ian Flynn even better. Ugh.
No.
I don't mind.
I'm not gonna pretty much be that person, okay? I'm not gonna be that dragon. Jeez.
I'm fine with Penders. I don't agree with his no mention in his life.
Yeah,
Ken Penders was like, he won the lawsuit, but told Archie like they're allowed to use story treatments for him.
I'm not referring to lawsuits, but I'm referring to you know what on Twitter. But he's not as bad as like
everyone.
Ian Flynn and the other cronies who just threw Archie Sonic comics to the fucking.
Yeah.
Ground. Well, we'll get to the Archie haters later.
And when I say you know what, I'm not referring to lawsuits because Kim Peters had the right to do that lawsuit. So
and
so.
Them doing things because he's greedy. He's not. He's got a family to support and such.
Yes, all right. It's not out of greed. It's out of trying to support the ones he loves. Okay.
Not to mention these are the same people like they treat Kim Peters as these like George Lucas. That's some irony right there.
Yes, it is. Ken Penders raped our childhood.
Yes.
Ken Penders raped our child. Ken Penders raped our child.
Okay, it's all
okay. Let's just.
Fuck. He starts the entire plot and he has nothing to do in it. Cassian Andor is one of the main characters, and I don't really know anything about him. Other than he's been in this fight since he was 6 years old. And you know what's even sadder? I had to look up those character names. I didn't even remember all of them.
Well, that's your own fault. You have the attention span of a fly.
Oh, the guy's face.
I remember a lot of them.
What's this idiot talking about?
Oh yeah, it is like the perfect response.
Guy who has a hairstyle of Prince, of the late great Prince.
Yes.
Insert Prince music here. Insert Prince's Batman album here. But don't do it because
I can't because copyright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, rest in peace.
You guys can do that.
Peace.
But here, we're just chilling here.
You in the Batman.
We've got fucking Forrest Whitaker in this movie who has a strong connection to our main hero's backstory, but the movie just tells us about their relationship in passing dialogue, and then he dies. And I know I've said this in some other video before, but I really, really hate when a character is just like, go without me. I must stay here and die. For no reason.
I will run no longer. Come on, but you must save yourself.
Also,
it is the
his lines perfectly sums up the mainstream media. Unironically ironic. Lies, deception. That line.
Yes.
Lies, deceptions.
Well, I would figure since you're such a big fan of the Clone Wars, Cosmonaut, that you would know who Saw Gerrera is. And yeah, having him, well, I mean, and you watched Rebels too, and he plays a big part in that show. I haven't seen it though, but essentially, yeah, he's on like his last leg. He has a suit that tries to support him and stuff, and he's just like constantly in pain. So he just decides that he's gonna go down because he just can't. He's just too old to do anything now. Is the way I see it.
The strangest trope ever, and it always pisses me off. Bro, there's room on the ship. Just go with them. This movie's written like we're already.
No, I think this place is so precious to him. If that place dies, he dies with it.
Yeah, really. That's the captain goes down with the ship thing.
Supposed to know these characters, but this is the first time we've ever met them. This movie doesn't really have a lot to keep you engaged until the finale. The first 2/3 are kinda whack. I'm a bit torn on this movie's role because I think that these standalone movies should be standalone movies. If you aren't totally familiar with A New Hope, then this movie's not gonna make a lot of sense to you. Compare this to Solo, which realistically you can watch without knowing much.
Oh, good grief.
Son of a true gun!
Yeah, that's the point, though. It's not. This is the way I see Rogue One. Rogue One is not a character-driven story. It's not a setting-driven story. No, it's just simply a plot-driven story. All right. It is a gateway into A New Hope.
It was written by an ILM employee, John, who also written Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the game.
Yeah, and that still should be canonized. Okay, don't tell me otherwise.
No.
And also, he's responsible for CG Yoda. Also, he's one of the main super one of the main people who worked on CG Yoda and Attack the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. And it's a shame that his stories, especially the fact that the main lead is pretty much a boy in mind, but it has to be feeling because Kathleen Kennedy says so. I just mentioned reshoots. Lucasfilm and Disney saw the cut that there were scenes that was in the trailers, but no reshoots. Fired Gareth Edwards even and because before his quote unquote resignation, have a cameo appearance in Ryan Johnson's Discount Spaceballs movie The Last Jedi, and after that cameo, he's out. But we can still add Ryan, we still have Ryan Johnson and as a cameo in Rogue One and reshoots.
Kathleen Kennedy loves decisions, so that way, yeah, it's like a plot hole device of messiness.
Kathleen Kennedy is just the definition of incompetent. She's probably the worst leader I've ever seen.
And people praise her.
Keep in mind, she and Frank Marshall production company, the Kennedy Marshall Company. Keep in mind, Steven Spielberg said on the phone interview, she is terrible at taking notes. I'm taking notes, and now myself included, I'm taking notes, and sometimes inconsistent, but mine's leagues over note taking.
Well, I may not always be the best with taking notes, but if I was a person put in charge of running $1 million company that was home to one of the biggest movie franchises of all time, one of the biggest friggin' media franchises of all time, I'd be sure to take notes for anything that's fucking important because I know to be responsible.
Also, or what a director says, what a producer says, just in case I forget.
And I would probably make better decisions anyway.
Mm-hmm. Again, nice pause there.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll get to that one. We're probably going to have to stop midway through this one.
I think we'll do it after The Last Jedi.
Okay, let's go.
Outside of that stupid ending, but I'll talk about that later. I don't know, it's weird because on one hand, I like having a movie that serves as supplementary material for pre-existing films. But I also kind of like the idea of having a timeless standalone story that we can just show anyone. You know how many non-Star Wars fans love...
is even if you don't watch the saga, Rogue One is still a standalone story on its own because of the different characters and everything. Like if that was the first Star Wars movie I would be shown, it still it shows you much of the world and everything and how it is. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think you could watch it and not understand what the fuck is going on. Even excluding that there's no title crawl, you'd still have a good idea of what the fuck's going on in it, okay? The world is conveyed to us through the visuals of the Empire.
Mm-hmm. Of The Mandalorian? A lot, okay? Don't even tell me I'm wrong. And honestly, I think that this standalone approach is a better idea. Something about this movie just feels weird to me. I do like that it was kind of a risk to make a movie like this, but I just wish it was executed a little bit better. Oh, but like I said before, I hate the fucking fan service in these new movies, and this one is the worst with it. The fan service in this movie goes way beyond just showing us random references. We have full-on resurrected zombie actors in this movie. When I first saw this, I thought Tarkin was just gonna be in this one scene shot from behind. But then he turns around and I was like, okay, that's pretty weird, but maybe that's just for one scene. But then he keeps showing up in the movie, like they were so proud of the effect that they wanted to show it off some more. But it looks weird.
I'll kind of agree with that. Tarkin, like having CGI actor for a Tarkin is weird. I mean, because the guy himself looked pretty similar to what's the actor's name? Peter Cushing. Yeah, they could have just used some makeup and everything, and he could have probably looked better. But I actually don't think the CGI looks bad. I thought, like when I first saw that in the theater, I thought it was really him. I was like, holy shit! Did they just find a lookalike actor, or is that CGI?
And this was 22 years after his passing too.
I think they did a good job, honestly.
The ending. Assume that the actor who played Grand Moff Tarkin, the different actors besides Peter Cushing, was pretty much done via makeup. And Christopher Lee, I think in the Oncom too, was taken by surprise by that ending to Revenge of the Sith. Like, what the heck? Did my friend Peter Cushing resurrected himself?
Yeah.
Also, Cosmonaut, I hate to say this, especially that you just made a why it sucks video on Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, but have you heard of a visual effects company called Sony Pictures Imageworks? They made a I forgot the name of the technology created, but they create a technology where it's similar to ILMs, but it like involves like real time. I think it was all like semi real time motion capturing technology of all like scanning the actors' faces and bodies, and trying to make it look realistic as possible. I mean, they did that, and I think they did that in Nature. I think Sony Pictures Imageworks was responsible for the Burly brawl sequence in Matrix Reloaded, and also did that same technology in Spider-Man 2 and Superman Returns and Spider-Man 3 in the updated version of the same technology. So Pictures Imageworks uses. Yes, granted, most of the CG work when it comes to the CG human models in most of the movies they worked on, they're pretty kind of dated, especially before Spider-Man, especially in movies before Spider-Man 4, and also especially Superman Returns, which is a 2006 film, mind you. But keep in mind, making a CGI human hit and miss process. I'm having trouble with that too.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
Press on.
You could have just gotten a look-alike actor and I wouldn't have said anything.
That is extremely hard to do.
Yeah.
Well, they did find one for near the end of Revenge of the Sith where we see them walk by him, Vader and the Emperor. It was a far distance, but he still looked like a younger version of him.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't mind it. Like, the CGI for that, I will say, does look uncanny because, well,
strange.
It just doesn't look a whole lot like Carrie Fisher. But still, they did the best they could.
They could have used this actress for Episode 9, Duel of Fates.
Yeah, who knows what could have happened.
Sadly, nope. They just decide to just use deleted footage.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Goes for Leia too. She literally has one line. You could have just gotten a look-alike. Viewers are not that picky, but we are picky when we see this uncanny valley shit. It just pulls you out of the movie.
What is wrong with your face?
It's only for a few seconds, though.
What? Oh no, not blanket again. Oh.
Just continue to double down on that shit, Cosmonaut. You really are a person with a valid track record.
Just use that same sound clip against your own punchable soy face.
You see, Disney also uses CGI, so bitch all you want about the prequels.
Also, not to mention, did they use the same technology they did on the de-aging effect on Captain Marvel and that recent Martin Scorsese movie? I forgot what it was called. But Talent something, I don't know. But that where they have de-aging effects in it. Also, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where they de-aged Kurt Russell.
I know, that was crazy.
And also Ant-Man with Michael Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they're still good. They've proven that they're good when it comes to that. It's just that it can be difficult to find different look-alike actors, and yeah, so it's fine, all right.
Which is why they got an actor for a younger in Solo as Han Solo, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But while I complain, I did say that I have grown to kind of enjoy this movie more, and that's because the last third is really good. The best part of this movie is the final act, and I kind of wish this movie was just a 45-minute long OVA Disney Plus special or something. It would be pretty cool if we had this minimalist story about a group of rebels stealing the Death Star plans. As the mission goes on, our heroes encounter more and more difficulties, more obstacles that eventually lead to them realizing that they're all gonna die. Think of how effective it would be if this movie was just a really high-budget Star Wars short film. This finale actually makes the Empire seem scary and makes the Galactic Civil War more real. In A New Hope, Luke doesn't really even seem to know a lot about the war, and he doesn't really seem to care that much. But in this movie, we're put right in the middle of it. It adds more context to the Star Wars universe in an actual good way, and not in a shitty way. The finale of this movie is so good that it tricked a lot of people into thinking this movie is actually a masterpiece. It's not a masterpiece, but it's not awful either. And can I just say that I fucking love that our main characters don't kiss at the end. They have this wonderful final scene where they are just content to exist near one.
Hold on. Why? What do you mean? What do you mean you are so off that they don't kiss? So you're pretty much okay. So you're pretty much okay with gay characters, pander towards the LGBTQIA community. In reality, the LGBTQIA pander is pretty much a middle finger towards the community. Really, Cosmonaut? Really? This is the reason why I don't like Steven Universe. It got me back into Network, don't get me wrong, but the more I look at it, the more the flaws and the cracks started to show on Steven Universe. And I didn't bother watching much of Steven Universe, and don't really care about Steven Universe because I like the show.
Same here, actually.
And this is also like saying, what's next? You're gonna say I prefer Sally and Nicole over her being with Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Making them gay for no reason, other than gay, just a pander, just a virtue signal. It's similar to Iceman. All of a sudden, gay.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I don't really understand the argument of how a final chunk of a movie can trick people into thinking that it's good. Like, if they didn't enjoy themselves all the way through it, then they just didn't think the movie was that good to begin with. But, they thought it was just wasted potential. But still, if they found themselves invested in the characters, then the final act should be the best part of the film because of that. So therefore, I just don't understand this man's arguments. No. Most of the time, they're just nonsensical anyway.
He just contradicts himself over and over again.
Very hypocritically. Also, speaking of winning, catching the kid, don't get me started on Jamar. Please don't get me started on Jamar. Please, pretty please. I'm trying to avoid catching the gay. Press on.
One another for their last living moment. This is amazing, and even though we aren't connected to these characters, this ending is effective in making us understand the emotional context of this scene. But then, when we think the movie's over, we get Darth Vader fucking up motherfuckers.
Why are you running? I'm coming up right. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you.
This is fan service done well, because it does service the story. It makes perfect sense that this scene is here. Ending on a crazy fucking action scene in this movie is brilliant, because we don't need falling action, we already know where the movie's gonna go. And now, bear with me, because I always have to complain about something, but if you ask me, I think this should have been the only time we see Vader in the whole movie. If Vader wasn't in the marketing and he wasn't in previous scenes, this would have been the coolest fucking ending. Imagine a world where we could have watched this scene without even knowing he was in the film. But either way, this movie has won me over a little bit. I do like some parts of it. I make fun of the dumb lines, I laugh at the Borg gullet, and then I get to watch a cool Star Wars short film and pretend that the rest of the movie didn't happen. The finale is good, but it doesn't really make the other parts of the movie better. You still have to watch.
This is a film that Space Roasters intended for children, and please insert clip with Darth Vader killing all the rebels moment here.
Good grief, yeah. So much of what he says in his Star Wars Rebels reviews, he contradicts in these fucking videos. It's just comical at this point. And really, again, if you actually connect with the characters in the first place, if you actually pay attention and stuff, then you'll actually understand and like things better. But you know what? That's just fucking me. Maybe I'm the dumbass here.
You're gosh darn right.
The dumb shit to get to the good stuff. So I guess I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Okay, we can talk about The Last Jedi now.
Well, you know what? You thinking about saving this for another time?
Yeah, let's stop for tonight, guys, because I gotta go to bed now.
Yeah.
All right, but you know what? Let's watch one more video, but with no pauses this time.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yes, please.
All right.
No. What is it?
Anomaly Inc.
Oh, is it gonna be? Is it that one? Start over. Yeah. Well, I think you can skip the intro. Yeah. Actually,
I usually do intro, so.
Yeah, a boy Anomaly.
I created this intro, by the way. Fuck
yeah,
that's like. Explicit language.
Holding up. So when people say it holds up, it has a lot of iconic scenes, which you always come back for. It's like, man, you're really coming back for the titty.
No, only no. I only come. I don't go back to The Last Jedi for anything.
Yeah, well, it's such a strong claim to say that. To say these movies don't hold up, it's like, excuse you, but well, hey, here we go. Let's see him qualify that.
Yeah.
I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinion.
Oh my god!
The one thing that does bug me is the pivotal scene where Uncle Ben gives his iconic speech. Because he's actually chastising Peter Parker for fighting Flash Thompson in the previous scene. Except Peter was fighting in self-defense. And Uncle Ben's like, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that. Just because you can beat him up doesn't mean you should. So what does Peter do with this advice? He spends the rest of his life beating people up. The context just don't make no sense.
That sounds like a Saturday Night Live sketch. So it's like, hey, let's do a parody of Cosmonaut. Let's do a parody of things. I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions.
Has aged wonderfully.
That has aged like fine milk. Please tell me there's a bit of self-awareness
Anomaly
there.
laughing.
Star Wars should be simple. So let's talk about the actual plot. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have never known the plot of this movie until now. Most of the times when I watch this movie, it's with friends where we just quote the awkward or funny moments until we get bored and turn it off halfway through. But as far as the plot goes, I am only just now piecing it together after having watched this movie for 20 years. That is not a good sign. But hey, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe I'm the dumbass who just doesn't get it. So I even asked you guys on Twitter if you knew the plot of this movie. And most of you didn't. I actually expected most of you guys to lie or just check the wiki. But no, you guys were pretty honest for once. Most people agree that the biggest problem here is that you can just delete this whole movie from the trilogy and it changes nothing. A lot of Star Wars viewing guides actually recommend that you just don't watch this movie. How sad is that? It absolutely blows my mind that people don't have a bigger problem with Yoda in this trilogy. Because if you ask me, this is blatant character assassination. I should never see Yoda directing troops of soldiers. I should never hear Yoda say these words.
Concentrate all your fire on the nearest starship.
Seeing Yoda doing ninja flips is just so upsetting for me, and maybe this is why I like that Luke dies without hitting anybody with a lightsaber. I have my problems with The Last Jedi, but this is how a Jedi should operate in my mind. I love that once Luke arrives on the scene, nobody else dies for the rest of the movie except for him.
Count Dooku is probably the worst Star Wars character of all time. His existence is truly baffling to me, and he never develops into a real character. character. Most importantly, he never becomes a real threat.
Star Wars should be simple.
Star Wars should be simple.
Oh my lord.
Oh
my god! 35 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 35 seconds.
God.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh, our Aussie smiling.
Please,
sorry, it's
please,
just funny.
Please donate to my Patreon. I have great opinions. They're really good stuff.
That's ever come out of his mouth. Oh my god.
Pretty good track record.
I really think people have been giving Rey a very bad rep for some pretty bad reasons. Most people just say they don't like her because she's too strong, but I don't know, it doesn't bother me. I personally don't really mind seeing a character who is good at things in Star Wars. All the other main characters in Star Wars are really good at stuff. Oh, how come Obi-Wan can defeat a Sith Lord all by himself when his master couldn't even do that? How come Luke is really good at using the Force without getting any training? Star Wars characters are really lucky and they're really good at shit because they're the main characters of a stupid action-adventure series. Yet people only care that Rey's really good at shit, and it drives me fucking crazy, man.
Mr. Like he says, like, God, it doesn't have to be just like the comics. And then his Civil War video, he's like, this video is awful. How dare
Star Wars should be simple.
Sure you do.
Imagine someone who's just joined the chat, the podcast. Is like, what the fuck happened?
Cosmo dropped the bomb on us. That's what happened. This man straight up nuked Hiroshima a second time.
Look, see, this is just one of those great hindsight moments. He says this, and it was just a ticking time bomb because then he had so many bad takes.
I mean, what was his videos before this one?
If he had a good track record before this, boy oh fucking boy, that's taking no time.
Like, I remember liking one of his videos. That of like what, hundreds?
See, you have to understand. This is my first introduction to Cosmonaut. So whenever he's like, I have a pretty good track record, and after seeing this video, I hate it, and I'm like, I doubt that. And then I see more of his videos and how terrible they are, and I'm like, yeah, no.
This guy likes Solo, and I watched Solo right before it came on to cover that part of the video on that stream. And oh boy, I had some words to say about that.
Yeah,
I'm actually crying. I laughed so hard.
Chat is just losing their mind. Like I backtracked like losing their shit. Best joke of the night.
Whenever I say there's only one,
I have a pretty good track record.
Oh, Cosmonaut, how I've missed you like I've missed year-old Rash.
Well, that was way funnier than I thought it would be.
Pretty good track record.
Like to hell with you, it should be simple.
All right, guys. All right. So I want you to remember this. So whenever he gives these following opinions on the Ring of Fire trilogy, remember he's had a good track record. So keep that in the back of your mind.
That might be its own video.
Spider-Man is not a beloved character. Winnie the Pooh is a beloved character.
Spider-Man music, yay!
But people really, genuinely think that Joel was the hero of the first game. People played that game and watched the ending and thought to themselves, wow, Joel saved his daughter from those bad doctors. What a hero. I had people in my chat saying that his death was unfair because they brutally murdered, and I quote, a beloved character. Joel is not a fucking beloved character. Winnie the Pooh is a beloved character. Joel is a violent anti-hero.
Where does that even come from?
Beloved character. Oh my gosh, that sounds like something James Jonah Jameson would say, but Spider-Man is beloved. Spider-Man is not beloved. Winnie the Pooh is beloved.
I'll say it. I think J. Jonah Jameson makes a better case for Spider-Man sucking than Cosmonaut does.
The man does bring up some valid points.
He's more consistent. I'll say that. He's way more consistent in his opinions.
Dennis Jameson has a pretty good track record.
He does. He legit does.
Guy's thought patterns. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
All right. I gotta dance.
Sorry, Cosmonaut. We'll try to take you seriously.
I'm glad I brought water.
Oh man, that was good.
Yeah.
You can click away now.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, this was it for the stream for now, because we're gonna do another part like sometime this week or tomorrow, whenever we get to it. But
yeah, it really depends. What time and such.
Because I might do a comic reading with Dragon Lover.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is Mr. Tyrex.
And your fellow dragon as well.
DC Fan 200.
Signing out.
Let your hope go sky high and make the force be with you. Take care, everyone.